What's going on, Fresh Takers? Happy New Year to you guys. I am so excited to be back here reviewing our first movie of 2025. We're going to be doing Den of Thieves 2, and I cannot wait to get into this. Let's do it. All right, Fresh Takers. So let me go ahead and get into this review. And I got a couple of things that I really like about this movie, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to just tell you right now, I don't really have a ton that I didn't like. So this was a movie that I really did enjoy. I'm gonna tell you that before I get my rating. I really did enjoy this movie. So let me kind of give you guys some information and a summary, essentially, of the first movie, because it has been a long time. It's been about seven years since Den of Thieves 1 came out. So Den of Thieves 2 it's a long awaited sequel of Den of Thieves 1. The movie did a fantastic job. It raised the stakes, kept me engaged, and it definitely was an exciting story. Was not boring whatsoever from the beginning of the movie. You just are like thrown into what's been going on with O'Shea Jackson and what's been going on with Gerard Butler. So it does not waste any time of getting you into the movie and also giving you some backstory. So I'm gonna kind of go through this as best as I can. I tried to make some notes. So you guys, I'm doing something new this year. So I'm trying to be more organized with my thoughts. So I do have some notes and things and information I got. So just kind of bear with me. But essentially with this film, so the film definitely introduced fresh characters, gave some good scenarios without really relying too heavily on the original plot line, which I do like that, when you can continue the story along and you're not relying too much on either the success of the first one or too much of the foundation of the first one. You keep the story going. They definitely did a really good job there. So while there are nods to the first film, Den of Thieves 2 definitely stands on its own as a unique heist genre. So for those who missed the first film, that movie centers around a group of bank robbers. So it's led by Pablo Schreiber. If you guys don't know who that is, he actually played Master Chief on the Halo TV series. So if you have seen that, or at least seen like a trailer for it, that's who the leader is of all of those bank robbers. So it also included 50 Cent. 50 Cent was one of them. O'Shea Jackson obviously was one of them. And then actually Cheddar, who was in 8 Mile. I don't remember his actual name, but if you ever seen 8 Mile with Eminem, one of his friends Cheddar, who who accidentally shot himself in the movie, he was another of the bank robbers. So it was 4 of them, and basically a special forces police team led by Gerard Butler. They're basically doing like a cat and mouse type of situation throughout the movie. So as they are planning certain things and a huge heist, Gerard Butler's team is trying to, hunt them down and take them out. So I'm not going to ruin anything for that if you guys still want to go watch it. Now, obviously, because Den of Thieves 2, I'm recommending this. And you see O'Shea Jackson. O'Shea Jackson's character is actually the only one of the robbers that survives from the original movie. So that takes us into Den of Thieves 2. So Den of Thieves 2 builds on that momentum by introducing O'Shea, as the lead. We already know who he is, but in this movie he actually does become the lead actor in this movie. So it's really him and Gerard Butler that are leads. I don't know who would have been the lead in Den of Thieves 2 alongside Gerard Butler. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, but I did watch it. But I would definitely say the way that movie went, I don't think O'Shea was really the lead, but hey, it is what it is. So it definitely gave a fresh perspective to the action, and it really didn't dwell on the events of the first movie like it really does. It does push the movie along, or at least not the movie. Sorry, it does push the overall story along. So to me, how I look at it is your first movie obviously is chapter 1, then second is chapter 2, chapter 3, yada yada yada, how many ever you make. So versus staying stuck in how the first movie goes, they move it along. They definitely move it along. So they did a really great job there. What I did like as well is, if you did not see the first movie, you did not necessarily remember a lot from the first movie like myself, they did enough to where they had dialogue and certain things in this movie where it caught you up in a sense, but you didn't feel lost. You could really watch this by itself. This could be a standalone movie and you get it, you still understand it. So I do like that. And that's what I meant by like it's building on top of the first movie. It's not necessarily leaning too much on it. So I did like that was something they did, because I'll be honest with you, Den of Thieves was a really good movie, but I watched it back in 2018. There's been a lot that's happened since then, so I don't necessarily remember everything that happened with that movie. So it felt good to go in, watch this movie, and it didn't feel like I was super lost. I really wasn't even lost. It pushes the story further. So they did a great job. So if you're worried about that, if you're like, well, I never saw Den of Thieves 1, you're really okay. But I do encourage you, because I did like the first one, I do encourage you to go back and watch it. So I recommend, on top of this movie, I do recommend the first one. So let's talk about the locations. So I am a person that I do like when they, take certain stories across the Europe, certain parts of Europe, because a lot of those locations are very beautiful. But sometimes you do kind of see the same locations over and over again. So what I did like with this movie is the locations and environments were a great addition. Like, it really did add to the feel of this movie, because the original movie takes place in LA, California. So taking it not just out of state, but out of country. And they did a lot of different places. The main, I would say 95% of the movie takes place in France, and it takes place in a part of France that I've never even heard of. And to take place in France that they never even show you the Eiffel Tower, it's nowhere near it, that was pretty impressive, because it was really giving a new perspective, because I've never seen this place before. It's called Nice, France. And I really enjoyed that they had a lot of great scenery. They had a lot of great locations, because they also had a Sicilian region in there that they included. There was a couple other places, but it was good, because it was exposing places I've never seen before. So that also adds like a new freshness, a newness to the movie, and they did a great job there. And it also added to the story as well, because of all of the other characters involved. Everyone is from a different, I believe they're all from a different part of the country or part of the world. So that was really cool as well. When it comes to the cast, as I was saying, man, the cast did a great job. They delivered some solid performances, man. Particularly from O'Shea, I got to give him his props. Here's the funny thing about O'Shea. So I'm a part of a Patreon subscription for Before the Bell Podcast, who's on YouTube. Shout out to Before the Bell Podcast. I'm a part of their Patreon, and they are in kind of like a rivalry with O'Shea Jackson's wrestling podcast. So I get a lot of messages and stuff, seeing, they're trash talking O'Shea and all that stuff. So it's pretty fun, but I got to give him his props here. His character in the movie, I'm not ruining anything, his character had to pose as a Frenchman majority of the movie. and he really delivered a very convincing French accent. I gotta give him his props. He did a good job there. He may have put on some weight and he's starting to look like me, but that man has improved every single time he's been on screen. So from the time he did Straight Outta Compton to now, which that's 10 years. Yeah, because Straight Outta Compton is 2014, so it's 10 years. He's gotten better in each role. So I do give him his props. I'm joking. I love O'Shea Jackson. He even put some weight on him, whether it's muscle or not, I can't tell. But if it's muscle, hey, more power to him. But he definitely starting to look more like me. So O'Shea, be careful, man. You don't want these pounds, man. But shout out to him. But literally, I would say from top to bottom, as far as the entire cast, man, they did a great job. They had great chemistry and tension throughout the movie, and it really shows from the beginning of the movie to the end. So you guys will really like that, and I like that too. When the entire cast does their part, it's not just like half the cast is doing good, half is not. I will give everyone props. Everyone played their role and they played it very well. So you believed everyone. Y'all know I'm big on believability. That is something that will really piss me off. If you don't have good believability in who you're playing in that role, it's gonna throw me off. And everybody did a great job. So shout out to everyone that was in that movie. They definitely did their thing. So when it comes to the pacing of the movie, I did want to really touch on this. So even though the pacing feels slower for a heist movie, the slow buildup really does make it essential to the story's climax. The tension steadily grows and allows you to really enjoy the big moments because they feel earned and they feel impactful to the movie. So yeah, the pacing definitely, it may be considered slow to you, but it works well for the genre and it helps build anticipation. And ultimately, what I would say is you don't get, some heist movies where there's a comedy or whatever, how they'll do like those montages where as someone's explaining how they're going to plan to do something, they're doing all these cutaways to this person's doing this part, to get ready for the heist, and this person's doing this and this person's doing that. And you know what I'm talking about. It's not like that. And I actually like that it's not set up like that, because my thing is the movie takes its time for you to really see that pulling off the type of heist in this movie takes very careful and patient planning. It was something where they really spent time and they were even stumped. That's another thing with some of these heist movies is, yes, that does make the characters look strong because they're, able to easily come up with a plan for these heists. But with this one, like, it really did take them some time, because it was I think they called it like the impossible heist or something like that. Like, it was really difficult for them to do what they were trying to do. So I had to put that in there because it's important. It's important. The pacing is going to seem slow, but what I would say is it wasn't slow to where I was like, okay, y'all need to hurry this up, y'all need to wrap this up. So hopefully you don't feel like that, but I still wanted to make sure I explain at least my point of view about the heist. What's going on, Fresh Takers? I know you guys are probably wondering what the heck happened, why I'm in different clothes, why the lighting looks different and everything. Let me tell y'all something. This, just to even get this review out, has been hell. I went and saw this last Thursday. Tried to record 2 separate times and it did not work. The first time my mic software went out, so it just basically, I had recorded the entire review. It did about 19 minutes. It was great. And then I go back to watch it and the audio cut out like 3 minutes in. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give myself time to cool down, and then I'm going to try it again. Let myself cool down. This was Saturday. Let myself cool down. This was Friday, y'all. This was Friday. So I did my review Friday evening, went back Friday night to do it, and then my camera powers off. And it's supposed to be charging as it's connected as a webcam, and it dies. It goes completely out. And so this is attempt number 3 to finish this. And the crazy part is the last what you guys just watched, I was almost at the end. I was kind of wrapping everything up. So if it would have held out probably at least 6 more minutes, we would have been good. So I apologize, you guys. Normally I don't get reviews out this late, but now you guys know why. It is Monday. I'm in my work clothes, and it's been a lot. So I'm gonna wrap this review up. From where it left off, I was talking about the pace of the movie, which the pace was great. It definitely was something, like I said, I wanted to explain to you guys, so I'm glad that I was able to touch on that. But overall, I would say that this movie is an excellent sequel. It definitely elevates the franchise. I think starting pretty good with the first Den of Thieves, and then boosting this up in terms of storyline, in terms of even, like I said, what is at stake in the movie. They did a great job of elevating everything to where I believe that they could do a Den of Thieves 2. Den of Thieves 3 if they wanted to. They did a well enough job to where that would make sense to do one, and it would be a very enjoyable movie. And with elevating O'Shea Jackson's character, you could really kind of keep this thing going. I could even see this, to be honest, I know this is going to sound crazy, I could even see this being kind of like the Fast and the Furious type, where, if they continue to make really good movies, they could keep making a ton of them and people may not get tired. That's just me, but that's my honest opinion. But I would say if you are someone who likes heist style films, this is a really good one. It's different than the other type of movies I've seen where it comes to a heist, but I would say this is a good one. The chemistry was great. The settings, locations were just fantastic. Chef's kiss. So in overall rating, I would give this an 8 out of 10. This is a really, really good movie. I felt like it was a good way to kick off 2025 for me is in terms of movie reviews. Now, has my technology failed me, and as far as getting this out, making this a smooth review? Absolutely. But the movie itself did a great job. So 8 out of 10, and I definitely recommend, if you guys, obviously I try to get these out on Friday so you guys can go over the weekend, but for some of my viewers, if you guys have not seen the movie and you watch this, please go see it. It is a great watch. You will not be disappointed, I promise you that. But you guys will have a great time in the movie. So 8 out of 10. I really appreciate you guys watching. I told myself I was going to power through no matter what, and I was going to get this done and get this out, because this is not how I was going to start my new year. So I'm glad that I persevered or got this done. But before I end the video, I want to say I appreciate you guys. I love you guys as always. Please like the video. Please share. Also, if you guys have not seen my last video, and if you guys have not been paying attention on social media, I did launch my very own Patreon. I'm very excited about that. So please, the link will be in the description. Please go and subscribe to my Patreon. I'm actually going to make an effort to put some exclusive content on there this week. And then eventually I want to start doing more live content. Prayerfully, my technology does not fail me. But that is definitely something that I want to do, is I want to start doing more live content with you guys. So for right now, until the number grows as far as subscribers, I'm going to be just putting some tier lists out there, little discussion topics, maybe trailer reacts, all that stuff. So trying to do some different things, but please, yes, go subscribe. I can't wait to start building a community with you guys, get to interact with you guys on a more exclusive level. So love you guys. Appreciate you guys. You guys stay safe, and I will see you later. Peace.